I told you I wasn't gonna come back in here until Wednesday. But I'm just having a brief situation. And I'm just getting this right now. I'm just noticing this right now because of my whole situation. And yes, you read the title right. Peace be still. And I'm gonna tell you this. This is like a huge part of being grown and being an adult. I know I'm not drinking no liquor. I'm drinking Spite. So I've been trying to figure out why this whole thing with what I'm doing is taking so long and why is it taking so long. And I know things take time. Okay. So if I'm still in the beginning phase of signing a contract and I have not gotten a contract or I have not gotten things done and things have not been made official, um, I'm still technically a free agent. And like I said, I just come on here live sometimes because, I just want to see how it goes and where it goes. So I'm stalling. So I got off the phone with my mom, and of course, everything my mom says makes sense because I always do. And when I look at this, all I could think in my back of my head is peace be still. And then next to the peace be still, the other thing I keep hearing is the world is unstable. So don't seek out stability when it's not there anymore. So I was watching the Forever Purge before I came on here. Well, no, before I came on here, the specific thing I was watching was really I was watching I was watching Moon Knight, which is basically about a vigilante that is controlled and that is the avatar of an Egyptian god. So but the movie I was watching before that was The Purge Forever. Okay. And in The Purge Forever, what happens is y'all know every night once a year they always have the purge and it's always a thing that they do the purge every year. And so what happened was everybody was this is like the whole stalling period, right? So everybody's preparing for the purge, everybody's preparing for it to get ready for the purge. The purge happened, everybody wake up, it's 12 hours later. But people think the purge is over, but it wasn't. Um, so I'm in a phase where it's stalling before things happen. Okay. So I'm in the phase where it's before the purge. Okay. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, what was going on with my emotions, and I realized 3 days from now, Pluto will be going retrograde. So we're in their pre-shadow period. But also, we're experiencing our Pluto return. And it started February 20th, 2022. So I'm gonna be honest with you. If for me, it's like I'm tripping out and I'm losing. I'm like I'm slowly. Well, I'm coming to lose. I'm not losing my mind. I'm tripping out. I'm freaking out about this whole situation with the contract. But something is telling me you don't want that contract to be signed. There's a reason why this contract is stalling. It's not because of personal feelings someone has about me. It's not because of something he might be doing. What's happening is this is the calm and the peace before the storm. Okay. I don't know if y'all know this, but this is the peaceful time period. So I should be grateful for this, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen after this time period. I'm not saying anything bad going to happen. I know for a fact something dramatic is going to happen. And dramatic could be either good or bad or indifferent. It all depends. So I'm not saying this to sit up here and start speaking some like um conspiracy theory, new world order shit. I'm on here telling you that if things are going good right now for you and you feel like things are going slow and you feel like things are going a certain type of way, appreciate this moment. Because this is the quiet before the storm. This is the quiet before the storm. When I say no war starting or nothing, we ain't saying the world ending. I ain't telling you Jesus coming back. So don't sit up here and think I'm on here talking. Uh, and I'm really telling you the world gonna end and Jesus gonna come back or something like that. I'm not God. I can't tell you what's going on. Cause I don't know what's going on my damn self. If I really concrete knew what was going on outside of the planetary alignments and outside of the book of Revelations, I will be able to tell you. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. It seems like for me, and like I'm saying this, for me, I feel like I'm at peace and I should appreciate the peace I have right now. I do. I feel like I'm at peace. Okay, yeah, I'm complaining about this. I'm upset. I'm getting depressed. I'm being all emotional, but it's because of the other emotions I have that's pertaining to the person I'm supposed to work with. But the truth of the matter is, when I really sit back and look at this, nobody has hurt me. Nobody has done anything to me physically. I'm not in jail and I'm not in hell. So I'm not in a bad place, but contractual wise, it feels like I'm in purgatory, right? Okay. It's not good, but it's not bad. I want to take a moment to enjoy this little peace of mind that I have. Because I have a feeling when it accelerates, when it activates, things are going to start moving fast. Now, I'm not going to know which way is up or down. And all I'm going to be knowing is that it's just going to go. Okay. So, I want to talk about this article, and I kind of want to talk about the Pluto return of the country. So I want to let this thing read to you about the Pluto return of this country. And then I want to talk about what this has to do with me not getting my contract signed yet.
Pluto Return 2022. The US is in for a major shift thanks to the slowest moving planet. It's this huge death and rebirth, astrologer Liz Simmons says of Pluto Return, 2022's major transformative event. Sign up to our newsletter. Image credit, Getty Images /Elon 11. By Danielle Valente. Published February 18, 2022. Pluto Return 2022 has been 248 years in the making, and it's finally about to reach the US. Though quite far out in the solar system and slow-moving, Pluto has been building momentum and will certainly shake things up upon its arrival. As we're gearing up for a dreamy Pisces season and planning to soak up its fantasy elements, do note that Pluto might cause a shift in focus. It's this huge death and rebirth, a huge transformation, says astrologer Liz Simmons. It's kind of like that Saturn return in that you're really pushing to grow up, but it's 10 times that because there's this huge call to wake up, shake up and take something down and figure out how you can rebuild it better. Sponsored links. If you need to kill time on your computer, this vintage game is a must-have. No install Forge of Empires. So now that the slowpoke planet, dwarf planet, technically speaking, is reaching a peak in Capricorn, we'll tell you everything you need to know about one of the most anticipated astrology events 2022 has in store for us. Recommended videos for you. My Imperfect Life. Loading ad. Play sound. Candles, mugs, and more. Cute gifts astrology fans will love. Check out your 2022 horoscope predictions and see how the year will unfold. How to celebrate February 22nd, 22, and what this date really means. When is Pluto Return 2022? Mark your calendars, February 20th, 2022, is the Pluto Return in the US, just as Pisces season gets underway. It also comes at a significant time in the year. You might have been wondering what planet is in retrograde, and the answer is none. Pluto will hit the scene when all of its peers are moving in a direct motion. What is Pluto Return? Pluto might have a few frightening aspects to it, at least in astrological terms where it is known as the Great Destroyer, but don't go into panic mode just yet. The return will likely inflict change on the hierarchy and institutions of our country because of its Capricorn placement, and that could be a good thing. As the USA experiences its Pluto return, we're likely to see huge shifts in our political structures, which will set the tone on how our country moves forward after the trauma of a pandemic, political upheaval, and supply chain issues, says astrologer Renee Watt. However, power struggles between opposing political forces are likely to intensify, as each party makes its grab for power. Just don't expect a huge shift to happen all at once. Why is Pluto not a planet? Despite the big hype surrounding this faraway planet, it's not even considered as such by astronomy professionals. According to the Library of Congress, Pluto, the great destroyer to astrologers, was downgraded to a dwarf planet, as the International Astronomical Union (IAU) said it did not fit the necessary criteria. In order to be considered a planet, celestial beings must check the following boxes. Must orbit the sun.
All right, so I think I made
Must
my
have mass
point
to
with what
achieve
I was talking
hydrostatic
about.
equilibrium.
We don't care if people
Must
don't
clear neighboring
see
region of other objects.
Pluto as a planet yet. So, okay, so I was thinking about them heavy. They've been heavy on my mind for a long time. And I'm not just talking about them. I'm talking about also, I don't know if y'all seen the movie The Last Emperor. I'm not quite sure if the movie The Last Emperor is still on HBO Max. Let me see. Let me silence the beat button first. Because I love making this noise. But there's a movie called The Last Emperor. This is the last emperor of Russia and his family, his daughters, his wife, and his son. And I was thinking about the last emperor of China. And I was thinking about the last movies I've been watching. um The Purge and The Batman. And all of them showed signs of the end of something. In The Batman, you saw the end of Gotham City. You saw Gotham City being flooded. I kind of did a podcast yesterday where I said I was triggered, and the reason I was triggered is because the Batman, it just reminded me of Hurricane Katrina. And I was not in Hurricane Katrina, but it was very the to see the images that was coming from Hurricane Katrina, to see people in water and areas flooding and people, having to steal things that they need is very disturbing. Okay. But I was watching the Batman, and I was watching the Purge, and how the Purge became the Purge Forever. Yeah, I remember how I've been talking about um Governor Kemp. I was talking to y'all about him signing a bill he signed a bill Um, eliminating gun permit requirement. So, you a Democrat, this is outrageous. If you're someone who believe in background checks and something like that, and I'm one of those people where I just don't like just anybody walking around with a gun. I'm sorry. That's just it. That's all, Paul. I'm not gonna sit up here and just act like something is wrong. You got to have a gun permit because you have to have a background check. And you don't get a background check before you get a gun permit, then anybody is sitting around here with a gun. So I've been objectively thinking as to why Governor Kemp would say it was okay for you guys to be walking around here with guns, even though you might not be mentally stable. And this is where we talk about the forever purge. And like I said, I'm not a fearmonger. I'm just dealing with facts. I'm just dealing with what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But it's crazy. We don't know what's going on with government, but I don't know what's going on in my personal contract when it comes to my business. So everything is just up in the air. As usual. Everything is just up in the air. Right? But the one thing that keeps raining true in my head, and it rained true even heavier in my head when I was watching The Purge, was why would this man say it's okay for everybody to have a gun? Why would this man be okay with people getting guns and not having a permit to have one? What does he see coming down the pipeline? What does he see coming down the pipeline, rolling down the pipeline, whatever have you? And I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's going to be like The Purge or anything else. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that he sees something that may pose as a threat to him because his main concern and his concern should be the innocent citizens of the state of Georgia. Why is he concerned for the innocent civilians in the state of Georgia, right? Like, why is he concerned? Why is he concerned about the citizens of the state of Georgia to where he sit up there and say, you know what, y'all all can just get you a gun. You don't have to go do the crazy background checks. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about it. Just go ahead, get your gun so you can protect your family. This is the mindset of a Southern gentleman, okay? For some reason, the legal way of doing things to him is not logical anymore. Okay? And like I said, to be in a state where it's okay for anybody to be carrying a gun does not sit right with me. But why would he okay this bill anyway? And it's not the fear of the purge. It's not the fear of the purge. It's not the fear of people inciting a riot and the purge. It's the fear of a government takeover. Now, y'all remember when Trump was elected and people kind of had the fear of China taking over China? I mean, China taking over China. How's China gonna take over itself when it's already taking over itself? It was a fear brought on by Trump about China taking over America. Okay, I don't know what y'all know. I don't know if anybody know this, but we're gonna talk about this. I don't know if you guys people starting to get a little iffy about who what look into their stuff now. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys know what's going on here or get what's going on. Girl, everything going on right here. Lord have mercy. But in Shanghai, there is a lockdown going on. Okay. They had a severe outbreak of, I think, the BA2 C19. Not even tell this video to go, but I'm playing the video. I'm going to play it, but give me some time. There has been a outbreak of the C19 in Shanghai, China. Um, and you're like, well, that doesn't affect us. Yes, it does, especially if we borrow money from them. If we owe them some money and they're uh, the place which is the biggest global market on the planet is on lockdown, yeah, somebody might be on some bitch better have my money. Okay, so that's what's going on, right? You're like, what does this have to do with the fear of a government takeover? Why does the fear of a government takeover? We already talked about this. We talked about this in one of the things I said when I was talking to y'all about the Pluto return. I want y'all to see what's going on over there. You're wondering why these people are screaming like that? They're starving. They're hungry. Let's listen to the article.
Starving Shanghai residents scream at authorities during COVID lockdown. By Emily Crane. April 26th, 2022, 12:10 p.m. Updated 005 020. More on Shanghai. COVID patients feel like animals in Shanghai, where fences restrain sick residents. Frustration boils over as harsh COVID lockdowns plague Shanghai. Unsettling footage shows children in Shanghai wearing hazmat suits on way to school. Shanghai allows 4 million people out of homes as COVID lockdown rules ease. Starving Shanghai residents have been filmed screaming from their windows at hazmat-wearing authorities patrolling the city's streets after weeks of draconian COVID-19 lockdowns. The footage showed the locked-up citizens shouting at officials in Shirlan Sen village on Saturday amid reports of food shortages across the city as China doubles down on its zero-COVID policy.
Can I say this? Reports of a food shortage across the city. Let's continue.
I haven't eaten yet, one desperate woman could be heard yelling. Another man screamed, I need to eat. Midnight 121. Residents have taken to social media to complain about their troubles with getting food, water, and medicine ever since the city started enforcing its oppressive lockdown earlier this month. The latest video of screaming residents emerged as authorities started erecting 6-foot-tall metal fences in several neighborhoods to block off some streets and the entrances to apartment complexes of those who had tested positive. The move sparked outrage from residents on social media, with some complaining they were being treated like domestic animals. Residents have taken to social media to complain about their troubles with getting food, water, and medicine during the lockdown. News flare. Some residents have compared the lockdown to being treated like domestic animals. News flare. The city also converted schools and apartment blocks into designated quarantine sites for COVID-positive residents in the hope of stopping the spread outside of those areas. The number of cases in Shanghai has now topped 500,000 and at least 190 people have died from COVID. Meanwhile, authorities in Beijing started stepping up efforts this week to prevent a major outbreak like the one that has all but shut down Shanghai. I need to eat, one man can be heard screaming. News flare. No deaths have been reported from the still nascent outbreak in Beijing, and 22 cases were found in the 24 hours into Monday. People in the Chinese capital lined up for throat swabs after mass testing was expanded to 11 of the city's 16 districts. The announcement of testing in one Beijing district sparked widespread panic buying in the city on Monday in the wake of the disruptions to the supply of food, medicine, and daily necessities in Shanghai. With post wires. Share this article. Filed under Beijing.
Okay. So that is what's going on. And I find it to be funny that I was talking about royalty because look at what popped up. This 1923, April 26th, the Duke of York weds Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon at Westminster Abbey. Find it to be very ironic. So there's a food shortage in China. What the hell you think is going on here? What do y'all think is going on here? And we already talked about we're going through our Pluto return. And like I said, I'm not inciting. I don't want nobody to freak out. I'm not inciting anything. I'm not saying anything. Something dramatic could happen, but not something as bad as you may think. Okay, so just expect the unexpected when you're expecting in this situation. Okay. I'm not there's no for me there's no like I can't sit up here and push fear mongering or that you should be scared or in fear of anything. Okay. It just I don't know. I'm one of those people. It's like I can't sit up here and fearmonger you. All I can do is sit up here and tell you about the Pluto return and what's happening and why would a governor be okay with signing a bill? Because I know people are going to say it's not logical, but is what about to happen? Is it going to make it logical? I don't know. I don't know. I just know that. mm, I just know that everything we're used to, and this is what the conclusion I came up with when it came to watching The Last Emperor, which is everything you think you know right now is going to change. Life as you know it is going to change, whether it's negatively, positively, or indifferent. Everything you know is about to change. What you know, let's just say this. What you know as a USD, the American dollar, the green piece of paper with old white men on it, personally might be some digital credits. Okay. That's something we are seeing happening right now. Is the Bitcoin thinking. Um what you know as a capitalist economic system might be a different economic system. What you know as a democracy where you vote for your leaders might change. Whatever you have dealt with in the past might be something different. I saw this movie. I know people will sit up here and say, well, he was an emperor of a country and blah, 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 blah. My thing is this I'm not looking at it as the emperor of a country or anything like that. I see it as this. Can you imagine being born in a world where you are the cream of the crop? Girl, outside is loud. Hold on. Outside is just not having it for me right now. I'm trying to think and I can't think because it's a freaking like weed eater going on, I think. Can you imagine being in a world where things has always been a certain way? Okay. There's always been certain rules and have always been certain people you were around. Imagine that slowly been taken away from you. Okay. I said slowly, not quickly. Because, like she said, we're in our Pluto return, right? So it's not going to be a fast one of those things. It's just going to be something that slowly happens. So for some people who think you're going to wake up tomorrow morning and there's going to be a purge outside, no, honey, it's not like that. Things don't happen like that. Things don't happen overnight neither. Things gradually change. And a lot of times it starts with the economy first. When things change, it starts with the economy first. Okay. And then when the economy starts to change, that's when everything else starts to become different. But most government, it starts with the economy. Okay. And most of the time, change happens with the protests, right? One thing I saw when I was watching The Last Emperor was you saw that people start protesting against the system they were already in, right? So I don't know if you realize this, but people have started protesting, and I don't know if you noticed this too. Also in Shanghai, people start protesting the lockdown. Okay, so first you see people start fighting for injustice and stuff like that. And you see people try to change that, the injustice and stuff like that. Then you start to see the change in the economy, right? The gas prices, food shortages, um, all that stuff, right? Then there's other changes that comes with all the changes that's going to happen. Just know this. The governor of Georgia did not sign that bill for nothing. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie. I didn't vote for the man. So yeah. Um But the governor of Georgia did not sign that bill for nothing. Okay. There's going to be a change. But who ended up at the top, who ends up at the top, is not going to be at the top anymore. I mean, who's going to end up at the top is not was at the bottom before. And who is at the bottom? If you're at the bottom right now, there's a possibility of you being on top. So my point is making is the reason why I feel like things are moving slow and things are not moving as fast as I thought they would move is because things are very uncertain right now as we speak. Things are not what they seem to be. So all I can do is say expect the unexpected when you're expecting. And somebody get Amazon. Golly, they had to pull up on that call like that fast. Girl. Just understand there's gonna be a change. And with the change comes the unexpected. So expect a change. And that's all I can say. That maybe the reason why things are moving slow is because I should be expecting a change. And the reason why things are moving so slow is for the change to be happening. Why did you do that? So, with that being said, thank you guys for coming to my live. You listen to my live, and of course, I'm going to save the video. The video is going to be saved, and it automatically becomes saved. I just want to talk about that for a minute. And yes, peace be still is exactly what you should do. No, he's so cute. All right, so I'm out. My pages that we're gonna. I'm out.